Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJ Tripp, and welcome to That's a Shoot. This is my weekly show where I talk about the good and the bad of goings on in the week in wrestling, and we at the end talk about a major topic, or not maybe not a major topic, but we talk about a main topic of this episode. Um, as you can see, probably from the background, I have a bunch of stuff on my on my freezer. Those are cold medicine. I came down with a cold this week. I don't know. So I haven't really been feeling myself in the last couple of days. Think I'm getting better, but still got bits and pieces of it. So try to ignore the stuff in the background, and try to ignore if you hear me do a lot of sniffling or and coughing and whatever. So, but with that being said, let's start on, shall we? As always, we start off with Put Over and Bury, and start off with Put Over. This is where I talk about 3 good things that happened this week in wrestling, and the first one is NXT TakeOver New York. I thought this was a fantastic show. As most of you know, uh, there was a mishap with my review. I was at Exotica this last weekend, and of course, I did not get to see it live, so there was no rapid reaction. I tried to record a review for it on Saturday, but I used my laptop and I did not have the microphone on. I had the microphone muted instead of unmuted so that it could pick up sound. So there was no review, but I thought this was fantastic. We had a 5-star match in the tag match between Ricochet and Aleister Black and the War Raiders. The North American title match between Riddle and Dream was 4.5 stars. Pete Dunne and Walter was 4.5 stars, and we had the main event, the Gargano versus Cole 2 out of 3 falls match was 4 out of 5 stars. And I thought the women's match was good as well. I did it 3 3/4 stars. So all in all, it was a fantastic show, just unbelievable. And if you have not seen it, go back on the network and check it out. It is fantastic. Next is John Cena coming back as the Doctor of Thugonomics on WrestleMania 35. I thought this was incredible. Now, I will say that, yes, there was a little bit of this where it's almost looking like, John Cena in a midlife crisis, or, something like, like, your dad trying to be cool with your friends or something like that. So, I definitely thought that, but it was still fantastic, and I loved it. It did bring back some old school memories and of how he used to eviscerate people on the mic, and it was pretty good, and just like with that one, like it's just incredible. The one when you said that your face looked like my nuts, but you have a hairy bush. Oh, that was awesome. So, yeah, big ups to John Cena pulling that out, having some fun for WrestleMania 35. You couldn't have a match, but that was incredible. And finally, the Iconics. They won the Women's Tag Championship at WrestleMania, and I was actually surprised by it, but okay. They went ahead and they did it, but then they did something on SmackDown that I thought was awesome. Awesome. They came out there and they cut like a babyface promo, talking about how they were going to, defend the title everywhere and anywhere against the greatest competition they can ever find. And then they turn around and their opponents are the Brooklyn Bells, who are 45-0 in Brooklyn, and I'm just like, okay, come on. And I just, this is so old school goodness that I fell in love with it immediately. I loved it. This is something that they need to continue on doing. Something that they really continue on doing. And actually, this is something that I would actually do every week. I would do every week. Maybe once on Raw, maybe once on SmackDown, maybe even once on NXT. Well, just find a couple of local workers and have them be, something from that city. They're in Montreal next week, so maybe they'll find like the Montreal Misfits, 27-3. So former Montreal tag champions. So, just do something like that. So I think that'd be interesting. Paige was watching this week on SmackDown. She said that she gonna have something for them on SmackDown. So we'll see what that's about. But I think that's and that would be interesting. That would be really interesting if Paige get in on it and what she did was that she brought out like the Montreal Misfits. Everybody's thinking, is it going to be the Sky Pirates? Is it going to be some other team? Or is it Absolution going to come back or something like that or whatever? But I think that it could be something incredible. Now to burying. This is where on some of the bad stuff that happened this week in wrestling, we're going to, of course, bury it. And we can't start off without talking about the main event on Monday Night Raw. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. I really don't. You don't do it you don't do it like that. Now, if you wanted to do it this Monday night, then I think it would go better. It would go better. I think people would still be upset, but it would go better. But yeah, I think there were a lot of people saying that this match wasn't going to end in a end with somebody holding both titles. And then somehow was going to be some type of disqualification, double DQ, double count out or something, even something like that. Something was going to happen. But to have like the Bar come in and break it up, for what? Just so you didn't screw the fans over at WrestleMania, so now you want to screw them over the night after Raw? I don't. That's just ridiculous. I mean, there were so many other ways to go about it. Instead of having Lars Sullivan beat up Kurt Angle, you could have had you could have had Lars Sullivan beat up Kofi and Seth. Then you could even have the New Day come down and him beat up the New Day. Him have Roman Reigns come down and him beat up Roman Reigns to show how big of a badass Lars Sullivan really is. You could have did that. You could have had Drew McIntyre. You could have had so many other things happen. But you chose the Bar. And then after that, okay, so maybe you say, okay, so the Bar, right? You wanted the Bar. So then why not do it at the very end? Very end of the show. Why not do it at the very end of the show when the show's going up there so that you don't have to make a tag match? No, they don't want to see a tag match now. No. You do it at the end of the show. Kofi and Seth chase off the Bar. And then the Raw goes off. And then you can do what they did. So, I just thought it was wow. I mean, it was so garbage. So garbage. You also want to talk about something that would not that didn't work uh on Monday Night Raw, and that's Sami Zayn's promo. Sami Zayn's promo could have worked again this Monday. You know, they really have to stop trying to do these type of promos the Raw or SmackDown after these big four events. Because really, all of these shows now, the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series, all of these shows are becoming the Raw and SmackDown after them. They're becoming shows where the crowd really isn't going. You know, they're going to try to take over the show one way or the other. And whether it's beach balls or doing the wave or chanting for stuff that's not on, you know, has nothing to do with WWE or anything like that. That's what these guys are gonna do, and or in this case, absolute agreeing with Sami Zayn with his promo. Yeah, yeah, you absolutely suck. Yeah, you know, I mean, just yeah, that was not smart. That was not smart. The promo itself, I thought was a good promo, but just the wrong day. The absolute wrong day to try it. It should have been maybe this Monday to do that promo. And finally, and this is the biggest burial of them all, the Nimrod who attacked Bret Hart at the Hall of Fame. He got what he deserved. He got in the ring, the beatdown that he got from Travis Brown, Ronda Rousey's husband, from David Hart Smith, from many others, the sucker punch that he got from Dash Wilder, all of that. Good for him. I don't know what he was doing. I'm not going to mention his name or anything like that. He does not deserve it. The fact that he attacked Bret Hart out of nowhere, fine. You go ahead. You take that, and you just go away. Go away. Never come back. He's been banned from all WWE events. Good. Been arrested, and hopefully he would do jail time. So, and like I said on, I think at the end of my WrestleMania review, I'm not big on street justice, but I hope he got some. I hope they took him back before they had the cops arrest him. I hope they took him back in the locker room and gave him the business. I don't know why he would do that. So, big fuck you to that dude who attacked Bret Hart. So now for our main topic of this week's Stats to Shoot. It's a topic that everybody's talking about this week. Is WrestleMania too long? And the answer is yes. Now, I could end it right here, but let's go into a little bit more deeper thought about this. I mean, one of the problems is that recently the WWE, and I think this goes back to, I'm not sure when exactly they started to do this, but the WWE really they almost seem like wanted to they decided that everybody needed like a WrestleMania payday, and then that and that everybody needed to be on the show, and that's why we get all these multi-men matches and multi-person matches and everything like that, and and then now we get mini matches, and it's just that's not even the case. Now I've said this before. I think the WWE has too many pay-per-views. Especially last year, there were too many with the ones that the 12 ones that they already had. Then they added the 2 Saudi shows, the Super Showdown, and then the Women's Evolution show. That was 16 pay-per-views. That was way too many. Now, even though you can have the network, so I'm not talking about maybe from a money standpoint where you would be paying $50 for each show. So you have the network, but I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about like in time and effort and storylines and everything like that. Because there were points when in October they were they didn't give a damn about the Women's Evolution pay-per-view. They were trying to do the Saudi show, and they were still doing the Saudi show. Still trying to get the Saudi show. To go down Crown Jewel. And then like before that, earlier that month, right, was the Super Showdown. So they were doing the Super Showdown, and then they went and they did this. So this call dropped, by the way. Like I said, I was sick. So it's so it would take some time. So my thing would be is that you cut down from 12 to 8, meaning you would have 6 pay-per-views, main pay-per-views for the roster. You would do your 1 Saudi show, and then you could do the Women's Evolution pay-per-view, right? Because I actually think that's something that could still happen. I would like to see that. The women get their own pay-per-view. So then you can go from there to this. And then you'd have 6 pay-per-views. And each pay-per-view would be 4 hours. Now, I actually think 4 hours is actually pretty good, right? I think 4 hours is pretty good. I think 4 hours is, especially for the time that they have. Now you're still not gonna be able to get everybody on the show, but it's not. But that's not what this is about. You can still do a show where you have a good 7 or 8 matches on the 4 hours. And if you spread them out right and you do them right, it can be good. Oh, and by the way, you don't have to go the whole 4 hours. You just have that time centered so that it's going to start at 6 Chicago time. That's where I'm from. So I always speak in terms of Central Time, Chicago time. It start at 6 o'clock, and it will go no longer than 10. But you can end early if you need to. It doesn't have to go all the way to 10. But it's going to go no longer than 4 hours. And that includes WrestleMania. WrestleMania should be no more than 4 hours. Even if you wanted to do the other ones where the other ones were still 3 hours, and WrestleMania was 4, okay, I'll be fine with that, but there's no need for this to go into this. I think it was almost 11 something when here in Chicago again, when when the match ended with Becky Lynch winning, and then like the people in New Jersey, right? They couldn't, because the review went so long, they get stuck in rain, trying to get your way back to New York City. You can't do that. You can't do that. And in Tampa Bay, I think that might be one of the same ways. Because if you're gonna stay in St. Pete, it's on the East Coast, you're gonna stay in St. Pete. It's instead of staying in Tampa Bay, I'm sure there's something there where the train or the bus or whatever that takes you from St. Pete to Tampa Bay is gonna be like that. You can't do that to your fans then. Trying to get them to catch Ubers and things like that to go to St. Petersburg after watching WrestleMania in Tampa Bay. So it's they can't do that. They really can't. You know, and I really do. I really do. They just have to apologize to people. Say, hey, listen. There's the Andre Memorial Battle Royal, which will be on the kickoff show. There's the women's battle royal that'll be on the kickoff show. And oh, and by the way, I'm totally not against a 2 hour kickoff show for WrestleMania because it's the biggest show. I am for other shows. There's no reason SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, any of those things you deserve 2 hour kickoff shows. The 1 hour kickoff show is fine. But 2 hour kickoff show for WrestleMania, I'm okay with that. But at the first hour, and you go ahead and you do the two battle royals, and then you go to the main show at the start at 6. So yeah, there's the women's battle royal, there's the Andre the Giant battle royal, and then you do the main show. And in the main show, there are very few because I said this during my review. I saw the women's tag and the SmackDown tag. I didn't think they were as good as they was because of all of the multi the multi persons. Especially, I think it could have been better if there was some type of stipulation like a ladder match, TLC match, a tables match, or something that you could maybe see where there would be a little bit more action, something like that, a little bit more chaoticness to it, maybe even. But yeah, so I would kind of stick better with, now I'm not saying there can't be triple threat matches. I think there can be fatal 4-way matches or something like that. But there needs to be like some more, But like I definitely think like the tag matches should definitely stay maybe 2-on-2. But all of this I feel like contributes to the length of the show because they're trying to get everybody's shit in. I'm trying to get everybody on the show. And everybody just can't be on the show, unfortunately. That's and I think that's something the WWE has to deal with. And if they want to go to Twitter, if they want to bitch and complain, they can bitch and complain. Let them go. I'm tired of it. I'm gonna do a video about it in the next couple of weeks. I'm tired of the bitching and complaining about where they're at. Let them go. You're the WWE. Everybody's right. AEW right now is just a t-shirt company. And there'll be another company that will get destroyed by WWE. There'll be Impact Wrestling 2.0. So, come on. Let's shorten down WrestleMania. Let's go back to the way it is, and let's 4-hour show. I think you can get a good 4-hour show. I think the crowd will not be out of it by the end. And I do think, there's some people like, why was the crowd so quiet for Becky and Ronda and Charlotte? I think it could have been because it was almost 7 hours. With the kickoff shows and everything like that, it was almost 7 hours that they were there, and they were probably a little bit tired. So yeah, it's. I think WrestleMania is too long, and it's time to change that next year at WrestleMania in 36 and 10. All right, y'all. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Let me know what your thoughts on my putovers and my berries, and of course the main topic is WrestleMania too long. I'm sure a lot of y'all will probably say yes on that. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, I apologize if I am a little bit sick, trying to get over a cold. So I apologize if my medicine in the background was distracting, or if any of my sniffles or coughs or anything like that were distracting. I apologize. Hopefully I'll can get over it this weekend, and Monday I'll be back to a little bit healthier, me. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy AJ Tripp signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. I am out.